Hi, today we are going to learn widgets in Flutter. It is widgets. So there is a catchy phrase in Flutter like everything in Flutter is a widget. And today I am going to prove this catchy phrase for you. So now we are going to learn first what a widget is. Before knowing what a widget is, we have to understand what an user interface is. In short, for user interface, we use the term UI, user interface. So, do you know what an user interface is? Okay, let me take a real world example of a fan. Okay, a manufacturer creates a fan and he gives it to the or supplies it to the users. Now, to operate the fan, he gives some user interface for the user to communicate with the fan. Without the user interface, what happens? The user have to work at the circuit level, is it? So, the manufacturer gives the fan along with a remote control or a regulator and a switch. So now the user interface for a fan is nothing but the switch and the regulator. In the same way, the washing machine manufacturer, what he does, he makes the washing machine and he comes or supplies it to the users. Now he gives user interface for the users to use his machine. So what is the user interface in a washing machine? Have you seen the user panel on the top of the washing machine? You will have buttons, some touch pads where you can press something for washing, rinsing or for spinning. So every machine will come with its own user interface. So likewise, if you are a mobile app developer, you have to come up with some user interface for your app. Only then user can interact with your app. Is this clear? So user interface is nothing but a way for the user to interact with a machine or a computer, or even it can be a mobile. Okay, so when I say machine, everything covers here. Okay, is that clear? So this is a user interface is. Now let me take my tab. Okay, it comes again with an user interface. You have a button over here. I tap this, I press this. Now it shows me swipe up to unlock. So now I swipe up to unlock. Next it asks me to enter the passcode. So I am entering the passcode. Okay, now the app is ready. Now it's open. Sorry, the mobile screen is ready and it's open. So even the tab is talking to me through its user interface. So for a mobile application, user interface is nothing but these screens, these icons. Now let me open an app that I developed for the illustration purpose. It is the hotel booking app named TIA. Okay, so I have created it and let me search for it. It is TIA, T-I-A. Again, all these are user interfaces. Okay, you see, this is the TIA app. I am opening this. So again, it is an user interface. You see what this app is asking me to do. Enter your phone number. Again, it gives me an option skip. Now let me press skip. It's working, right? So again, this is an user interface. Now you see, welcome TIA, happy booking. Okay, now please select a city for your hotel booking. So again, you see, this is the user interface. This app is communicating with the user to make things done. So here the buttons, then some drop down list is there, some plus minus, all these buttons are there, buttons, these texts. You see, this is the simplest user interface, a text. It's telling me pick your check-in and check-out dates. I select a date. So all these are some user interfaces. So I hope you understand what an user interface is, right? Now let me search for some hotels. I give some hotel details and I am going to book rooms, right? So book your room now. Okay, make payment. You see, it's asking me for some payment. Now you see, this is just an user interface. If I do some payment over here, what really happens? Tell me. Inside the background, okay, from the banking, some process will happen. From my bank, some amount will be transferred to the hotel bank account. So whether that is an user interface? No, that will not come under the user interface. Like the circuit of a fan is not the user interface, because that is the core thing, right, of a fan. That is not the user interface. Similarly, internal programming is not an user interface. Internal functionality of a program or an app is not an user interface, but to communicate with that program, like to make a transaction, this is the user interface. The internal function is completely not visible to the normal user. Okay, so I hope you understood what an user interface is. Now let me explain you what is a widget in Flutter. Okay, so widgets are nothing but the classes used to create user interface elements in Flutter. Okay, so widgets are used to create user interface elements. Okay, so widgets are classes. So here classes are very important. So this is a term. Classes are nothing but a programming code. Okay, widgets are nothing but programming code. Already many programming widgets have been written. Okay, already many widgets have been programmed and are readily available for us to use. So what is the form of that program is? They are in the form of classes. If you have already learned Java or any OOPS program, you would know about classes. Okay, so widgets are nothing but like program, they are classes. Okay, used to create UI elements. Okay, used to create, I can simply say UI, user interface. Okay, now everything in Flutter is a widget. Now some examples for widgets are, example, text. Text is a widget. I will tell you always the classes, for the classes, the initial name of the class should always start in uppercase or the capital letter. Okay, so I write text. Next, text field. Text field is again a widget. Okay, next, button is again a widget. So using all these, I can create my own UI. If I want to create something like a form, I will be using all these basic UI elements to create my big UI. Okay, so user interface. So like resistors, capacitors are used to make a circuit. I am going to use these basic UI elements to make my own UI. If I want to create something like a form, I will be using all these basic UI elements to create my big UI. Okay, so user interface. So like resistors, capacitors are used to make a circuit. I am going to use these basic UI elements to make my actual UI, form my app. Okay, so widgets are nothing but the classes used to create the UI. Okay, now widgets can be of two types. Let me classify it here. It is the layout widgets. The other one is the UI element widgets, or simply UI elements. Okay, so what is a layout widget? Okay, so if I take text field, button, they all come under the UI element widgets. Okay, but layout widgets are something that will not be visible to my eyes. Okay, in the TIA app I showed you the elements, right? Let me show you, explain you what is a layout widget. Actually, layout widgets can be like row, column, or a stack, something like that. Let me show you here. If you take this TIA booking app, you see here I have created the elements column wise. Can you see? A hotel name is there, check-in, check-out, everything comes in a column. Within the column I have rows. If you see the code for this will be like a parent container will be there. Inside that I will have column. Inside the column I will have some rows. So this is the way I lay out the elements. Okay, but the actual row and column will not be visible to your eyes. But the UI elements are laid out in column and row wise. That's it. Okay, so layout is nothing but the way how you want to keep the UI elements on the screen. If I want to keep like a deck of card we play in a play card, right? In a play card we have deck of cards. If I want to place some pictures one above another, in that case I can use the stack layout. Okay, so the different layout widgets you have are like I showed you, column, row, stack is there. Okay, and many more layout widgets are there. Okay, UI elements are nothing but the actual text field. These are the visible. We can visually see all these widgets. Okay, so they are the UI widgets. So again, widgets can be classified into two types based on the state. They are the stateful widgets and stateless widgets. Okay, let me erase this. One is the stateful, or let me write stateless widgets first, followed by stateful widgets. Okay, so what is the example of stateless widget? Okay, let me show you a simple form. Let me erase this. Okay, let me show you a simple login form. In the login form, you will have a username and you will have a password, right? So here you will have a text field. Okay, this is actually called as a text field widget. What is it? It is text field widget. So in the class name, if you are going to have two words together, like text field, two words. So each first letter in each word should be in capital letter. Okay, so it is text field widget. It is nothing but the text widget. Okay, so let me explain you. So this username and password, have you ever seen in any login form, this username and password keep changing? Like while seeing itself, the username blinks, or sometimes U first appears, then S appears, E or something. Have you ever seen like that? No, they will remain the same always. They are not going to change in the login page. Even if I am going to log in, I am going to see the same. Even if you are going to log in, you are going to see the same, right? So the state of this text field is not going to change. So it is a kind of stateless widget. Okay, because it's not going to change, so no change. Okay, so it is a kind of stateless widget. It is a stateless widget. Now let me take the text field widget. Okay, so first let me enter A. This is the first state of the text field widget. Next I am going to enter B. Now the state of this text field widget has changed from empty to A to AB. Again it keeps changing. You see, the state of this widget keeps changing. Okay, so it is a stateful widget. Stateful widget. It changes. So I hope you understood this. So this is the basic of widgets. Now I showed you a TIA app, right? So in the TIA app, did you see anything other than the UI elements or the layout elements? No, you didn't see anything, right? That's why in Flutter, everything is widget. Okay, in TIA app, as I told you, everything from the icon, from the app bar, from all the buttons, from the layout, rows, columns, everything is a widget. So in Flutter, everything is widget. Widgets are nothing but classes. Also, you remember a hint, class name should always start with the capital letter. Like we name, for my name is Anandi. So usually when I write first letter as capital, right? In the same way, the class name first letter should be in always caps. Okay, if you are going to have two words, don't give space between them. You should write them text without space. Next word should also have the capital letter when we name a class. Okay, so now we are going to program this in the Android Studio. So before we start to program, let me give you a hint of how to write the code.
Today we are going to create a simple Flutter project to learn a simple widget text. So for that, let me go to Android Studio and select File, New Flutter project. It is new Flutter project, and here you select Flutter and next. Next, here the project name you give, any project name you can give. The rule you have to follow is all the letters should be in lowercase, and if you are going to have more than one word in the project name, use underscore. Don't use minus or space. It is underscore, and every letter should be example 1. Every letter should be in lowercase. Okay, so I have created my project and it's getting created. So before we start the project, let me tell you there is terminate. Okay, let me tell you what is a widget. Okay, widget is nothing but a class. Okay, and I am going to show you today. Okay, that in this. So here the Flutter has created the project for iOS, then Android as well as for web. So here is the library lib, and I am going to select this and I am going to double click the main dot. So we have learned already what is the opening door of any Flutter project. It is the main function. So where the main function is? The main function is inside the main dot. Shall we look for the main function? Yay, I found it. It's here. It is the main function and it is the entry point of any Flutter project. So let me select the entire code and delete it. Now we are going to create our own simple Flutter programming. We are going to create our own simple code to create a simple text widget in Flutter. Okay, so to that, how to do that is, let me create a main function. Okay, because main is the starting point of any Flutter project. So main, then I'm going to use the curly brace and press enter. Okay, so here the return type of the main is void, so we can give void in front of main. So next, inside the curly brace, what I'm going to do is I'm going to call a function. The function name is run, RUN, small letter followed by capital APP. So this Android Studio will help you in finding out the syntax of any functions or class or some widgets. Okay, it will be more helpful. So it's just like a good friend. Okay, so run app, and it is showing me I have to use a parenthesis next, and within the parenthesis I have to specify a widget name. So I am going to have a parenthesis. Inside the parenthesis I am going to have a widget named text. Then I am going to have if you have observed, when I typed text, you see the Android Studio is showing me the syntax, how I should use. It's again string data, right? So I'm going to have some data like welcome to my hotel booking app. Okay, next I give semicolon at the end. Now I get some error. So what error is this? It's asking me to import some libraries, right? So actually, to use this run app and text, I have to use a library from Flutter or a package. Okay, I call it as package from Flutter and its name is material. Okay, we will learn what material in detail later. So now I'm going to use the function run app and text. I need that package because these things are defined in that package. Okay, so I'm going to import. What am I going to import? I'm going to import a package. From where? From Flutter. What is its name? Its name is material dot. Okay, it is also a Dart programming file only that will contain the code for run app, text, everything. Okay, so I have imported that. Now you see, I have finished the code. This is our simple code and I am going to run this. How to run this? I have to select whether I am going to run it in Android or mobile or Chrome somewhere. So let me choose Chrome now and I am going to click the run button here. Okay, so now my code is running. Now here I will get an error. Okay, so before that, let me show you one thing. Let me press control button and left click on text. Okay, you see I get text dot. Okay, this is the actual code. This code is not written by me. This code has been already written. So we are using this code. Okay, so here one second. So here you can find here, you see, class text extends stateless widget. Actually, I told you already, every widget in Flutter is a class. I have the proof here. You see, text, I told you text is a widget, and how they have written this text, they are using class in front, specifying text as a class. Okay. Widgets are nothing but classes. Okay, and you can find the code of this text widget here. You can scroll down and check it. Okay, so our let's open the Chrome. As I told you, we will get an error. Okay, so I got an error. I will tell you the reason for this error. Let me go to the main.dart and let me here give the text direction. Okay, so I don't want to remember all the properties of text. If I keep my cursor on the text, the Android Studio will show me the properties. So now you can see the property named text direction. So the name of the property is text direction. So I have to I have to give it here, okay, comma text direction. The type of text direction should be, you see here, it is a text direction class is there. Okay, that text direction class I should use. Text, one second. Text, again, text direction is a class. Text direction is a class. Then again I am going to have a dot. Inside the text direction you have left to right. Okay, I am going to select the text should go from left to right. Okay, now I save everything and let me check the Chrome browser. Now you see the error has gone and I get the detail like welcome to my hotel booking app. So this is the simplest Flutter coding app. You see here, just to use run app and text I need this package, so I have imported this package, and main is the starting point of any Flutter program. So here I have the text widget. Text widget is nothing but a class. Okay, so here text direction is mandatory, otherwise you will get some error. Okay, so that's the code is. Now I want to make this text to appear in the center of my screen. So to do that I have to use a layout widget named sender. Okay, what is that? It is a layout widget named sender. So let me write sender over here. There is a shortcut, like I right click on text and I click on show context actions. So there wrap with a widget I will get. Okay, so I am going to wrap it with a widget named center. Okay, and now the child, the send for this. Okay, that's it. Now again, once again I am going to run. You can see, you see the text is in the sender. Okay, so can you see the sender widget through your eyes? No, right? So layout widgets are invisible actually. Okay, but this text widget, they are the UI elements. Okay, that's why we call text widgets as UI elements. Okay, and the sender widget, because they are just for laying out the UI elements in a structured way. Okay, so for that we go for the layout widgets. So layout sender is a layout widget, whereas text is a UI widget. Okay, this text widgets will talk to the user, not the center widget. Okay, the center widget will make the text or the UI elements to look in a more structured and in a decent way. Okay, so that's the purpose of the layout widget and the UI widget. Okay, hope you this is the most easiest and simple Flutter code to explain a widget. Thank you.